All right, POE. There is a Kirchhoff's law lab in the electric current section that we're going to be doing, and it is doable as a digital student. So if you have been either quarantined or if you are a virtual student, you are still responsible for doing this lab. And then you're going to ask and be like, well, how do I do a lab if I don't have access to the circuit stuff? And the answer is, I've got a perfect response for you. We're going to use a virtual or a digital circuit building thing. Is it as fun as actually putting the circuits together? No, not really. But we're going to try to do the best that we can with what we have. So I put a link to it in the actual quiz. So whenever you click on the, or I guess it's a lab. So whenever you click on the lab and it says Kirchhoff's laws, you're going to go down here and you're going to click on the link itself. And the first question says, hey, I need you to build this circuit for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this circuit with a 3 volt on the left side, a 1.5 volt on the right side, 15, 10, and 5 ohms going through like this on a parallel circuit. And there are 2 switches, one on the left and one on the right. So I'm going to show you guys how to build this circuit, and I'll also show you how to use the voltmeter and the current meter in the section. Hopefully this won't tear up my computer, the potato computer, too terribly badly. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. We're going to click on the battery, and you should be able to just kind of twist it to move it up here. You can double click on the battery and you can change the voltage. The one on the left side was 3, so I'm just going to click down until it says 3. And then I can add some wires to it by clicking and dragging. So there was a wire, there was a resistor involved. I can double click on the resistor and change the resistance. Let's double check and see what that value was. 15 ohms, and there's a switch that goes along with it too. So I'm going to make this 15 ohms, 14, 15. Notice that it changes the color code on it too, super handy. Let's add a switch, seems like a good idea. Click and drag. Then I'm going to add this wire. The wire goes down. There's a resistor in this wire, so I'm going to add this resistor. You can click and drag to kind of rotate it. If it's not like, if it doesn't come out perfect, you know, whatever. Let's see, what was that resistor value? I've already forgotten. Let's see, 5 ohms. So we're going to go back here and we're going to turn this down to 5 ohms. We're going to connect a wire that goes across this direction. We're going to add another switch. We're going to add another resistor. And I believe this one was just 10, so I think that it's okay. Yeah, that's 10 ohms right there. We need a switch and a 1.5 volt battery source that's going in the same direction as the other one. So I'm going to add a wire that goes along here. Technically, you don't really need the wire. It's just kind of nice. I'm going to put the battery here. I'm going to connect it. And this battery voltage is going to be 1.5 volts. And it looks like, there we go. Click it and go 1.5. And I think we just need to connect it down to the bottom. So I'm going to put a wire here. I'm going to put a wire here. And I'm going to put a wire in between. And I'll add one more. Let's go ahead and keep that as a junction. So I'm going to drag this one and go bloop, pop it in place. I'm going to grab this wire and bloop, pop it in place. All right, they're broken. The circuits are broken right now, so it doesn't look like we can actually get any current going until you connect the circuit. And then you actually have a switch that is closed. Okay, and then you can click on this one and you can close that one, and you'll actually get current flowing through the 2 objects. Now, how do we find the voltage and how do we find the resistance? You should see these electrons moving. You can find the voltage by clicking on the voltmeter and dragging over. You can then put the wires, or the 2 probes between one side and the other side of the wire to find the voltage going through either that voltage gain or that voltage drop. So I can also move the battery over here, or sorry, move the probe over here to the left side and the right side of the battery, and that gets 3 volts. That makes a lot of sense to me. All right, so let's see here. The current meter is a little bit different, okay, because the current meter, see, it's got to have junctions put up to it, which means that you're going to have to add this as part of the circuit. So if you want to break junctions, you can click on the little scissors on the junction, and it'll break them up, and you can add the current box in between the 2, and it will tell you what the current is going through that circuit, which is really handy. So and you know, it's not going to come out perfect, but so I can actually see that there's a current of 0.5 amps going through this particular circuit, and there is a voltage of something or another going through there. Anyway, you got to have both